I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We're progressing nicely through the Grade 1 Discovering Music Theory practice exam paper, and we're now moving on to section 3, Keys and Scales, which will cover pages 58 to 59 of the Discovering Music Theory Grade 1 workbook. So let's look at this section now, which is going to be talking about the key signatures and the scales that we've learned so far. And so that could be anything to do with the key of C major, G major, D major, or F major, and it will be in either treble or bass clef. And so if you want to have a quick revise of that topic, but then once you've had a look at it, just to refresh your memory, I suggest you pop the book away, sort of turn those pages away, and I suggest that you really have a go of this unaided, and that will really force you to bring back to remembrance any of the topics that we've covered in this section. So do have a go, work in pencil, and it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can always rub it out and have another go. Now in exercise 3, the first question asks us to tick a box to show the correct key signature for D major. Now we can eliminate the first two because if you've done your revision, you'll remember that D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps. And so that can't be it, that can't be it. However, now we have to choose between these two. And it always goes in this order because we know that G major has F sharps. So that's the first sharp. Whenever there's one sharp, it's F sharps. And then as we progress through the keys, we add. So the next key signature has F sharps and C sharps. It must go in that order because we're building upon this one sharp to two sharps. And so this can't be correct because actually, if you notice, the C sharp comes first and then the F sharp comes afterwards. This is the wrong way around, so that won't do. This is the one and it's correctly placed. Good boys deserve football. All cows, F sharps and C sharps in the correct order, placed correctly in the bass clef. That will be your answer. Here we're now asked to do the same to show the correct key signature for F major. Now F major, if you remember, has B flat. You could remember F for flat, B flats. And so that can't be right. However, either of these, any of these could be correct, but it needs to be placed correctly. And if you remember, the lines of the treble clef are every good boy. It will be the third line is the B. Here, that's on the second line. Actually, that's not correct. That would be correct if it was bass clef, but in the treble clef, that is actually note G. So it's not G flat, that's wrong. Here, that's placed on the space, which is FAC. That's actually showing a C flat. This is the only correct one. Every good boy, B flat, properly written in the treble clef. So that's the answer for that one. Let's move on. And in exercise 3, we're asked to tick 3 boxes to show which notes need an accidental to create a melody in the key of G major. So let's just think, which accidental would we be needing for G major? Because G major must have F sharps. And that can be either added at the beginning as a key signature to apply all the time, or it could be added to any note F as and when it's needed. However, remember that when it's written in a bar, it continues for the whole of that bar at that pitch, not at other octaves, but at that pitch until the bar line cancels it. So first job is to find any note F. And so in the bass clef, good boys deserve football, this would be note F. And so straight away in this first bar we can see that is an F, which would need a sharp, so we can give that one a tick. Now there are no more note Fs in this bar, and even if there were, it would still be under the accidental that's here. This accidental would still be accented, this sharp would still be active even later in the bar. So if there was one here, you still wouldn't need to put a tick because it's still active. It doesn't need an extra accidental here. However, let's carry on. So here again is another note F, which would need to be sharpened. So we need another sharp because the bar line has cancelled it as if it were here. The bar line has cancelled it. We now need it again. So we need one here again. The bar line's cancelled it. So it's all back to no sharps or flats. Now here, this also is note F. It's an octave lower because this is good boys deserves. That's a G. One below G is F. And so here that is still an F and it will still need a sharp. So that still needs an accidental. The bar line cancels it, but we finish on note G, so it's not needed anymore there. Let's move on to exercise 4 of this section. We're asked to tick 2 boxes to show the 2 pairs of notes. So we've got boxes showing pairs of notes which are a semitone apart. Now let's see what's going on here first of all. We've got the scale of G major, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and the treble clef. Now the long way of doing this would be to imagine every single pair of notes and just work out which ones are the semitones apart. But if you remember, in the major scale pattern as you are ascending, steps 3 to 4 and 7 to 8 are the semitones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 to 4 should be a semitone and 7 to 8 should be a semitone. And if you want to double check that, you can see B to C is a semitone and F sharp to G is a semitone. And it's just a quicker way of being absolutely sure that you've got it right if you just remember 3 to 4, 7 to 8. So that's that little exercise completed. Let's turn the page. Continuing with the same topic. So we're now moving on to page 59, continuing with this topic of keys and key signatures and scales. So we need to circle true or false for each of these statements. Is it true or false that there is one sharp in the key signature of F major? Well, it's false because we know that F major has B flats. It has one flat, not one sharp. So that's false. A bit of a red herring there. Is it true or false that there are no sharps or flats in the key signature of C major? That's true. C major has no sharps, no flats. That's true. Is it true or false that this is the 5th degree of the scale in G major? Well, we're in the bass clef and G is here, all counts it grass. So G is 1, A is 2, B is 3. That's the 3rd degree of the scale, not the 5th. The way you could go wrong there is a little bit sneaky here. If this was in the treble clef, that would be the 5th degree of the scale. It's if you get your clef wrong and you start working in treble clef, then you'd, oh, actually, no, even then it wouldn't work. No, it just doesn't work. Just a red herring there. So, yep, either way about it, that would not be the 5th. Yeah, that would be the root, wouldn't it, in treble clef. So, there we go. Just wrong. Let's press on. Is it true or false that this is the first... Oh, better put the answer, false. Getting carried away. Is it true or false that this is the first degree of the scale in C major? So the treble clef, FAC, that's a note C, and the key of C major, C of course, is the first degree of the scale. And so that's true. Let's press on. We need to tick one box to show which is the correctly written scale of F major descending. Now they're all going down. They're all in the treble clef, and so of course F major must begin on F. So straight away this one is wrong because actually in the treble clef that's a note D, every good boy deserves, so that can't be correct. That would be correct if it was in the bass clef. It's the treble clef, so that's wrong. Both of these now begin on F, and they both go down in step to F, and so we need to make sure that there's now a B flat written in the appropriate place, and we know that every good boy, that would be the B, that's B flat. This is incorrect because actually that's FAC, that's C flat, that's incorrect, so this is the only correct scale pattern. Let's press on. Is it true or false that this is the scale of D major descending with a key signature? Well, it's in treble clef. It's got the correct key signature of F sharps and C sharps. That's correct. It's beginning on D, every good boy deserves, and it's going down in step, a whole octave to bottom D. Everything is present and correct. That is true. And finally, we can look at this next one. We need to cross two notes that don't belong to this scale. Two notes are incorrect. So this is G major. So G major in the bass clef, it's beginning and ending on G, and we know that G major should have F sharps. However, in this case, this is not an F sharp, because if that's a G, one step up from that is A, that's an A sharp, that would be F sharp in the treble clef. So that's not the F sharp that we're after. G, A, B, let's just D, E, that should be F sharp because there's no key signature. That should be an F sharp. We should have an accidental there. So there's one, that's incorrect because the sharp, so the sharp's been put in the wrong place. It's put in the wrong note and missed off the correct one. So we need to cross that one and we need to cross that one. And that's that section completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.